So today we're going to go over a women's tennis performance analysis. When we're talking about singles tennis, it's an individual sport that can be played in clay, grass, or hard court. Matches last between 60 and 3 hours on average. There can be multiple matches in a week when there are tournaments, and the game consists of many lateral, short sprints, and changes of direction. A study comparing 2005 Australian Open and 2017 Australian Open. The average point duration was 7 seconds. Fast forward to 2017 and the average point duration in the Australian Open was actually 5.4, 1.6 seconds faster than what they found to be the average in the 2005 Australian Open. An average distance per match would be around 1,300 meters. Changes of directions per set are usually around 100 or more. 90%, according to the study, are lateral movements. Medium intensity changes of direction are the most common, and high intensity changes of direction occur every 7.8 to 9.6 seconds. Just like in soccer, all three energy systems are important in the sport. The ATP-CP system is very important for high intensity, short duration actions like in serves or short sprints. The glycolytic system is important for moderate to high intensity, prolonged efforts like in long rallies. And the aerobic system is very important for recovery. Studies cite that on average, women's tennis players will experience a 1:2 to 1:5 work to rest ratio, depending on a lot of things like competition, external factors like environment, and other things that may affect. According to a couple studies, the most common injuries, both in the NCAA and in women's pro tennis, are lower limb injuries. The NCAA study found that the most common types of injuries are strains, sprains, and inflammation. Most injuries are because of overuse, non-contact, or surface contact. When talking about specific body parts, most injuries happen in the shoulder and clavicle complex, in the lower leg, and in the ankle specifically. More comprehensive strength and conditioning and recovery programs are recommended, especially in youth tennis athletes, in order to prevent injury and prepare them for the demands of the game. Common KPIs in women's tennis are speed of serve, upper body power, lower body power, short sprints, endurance, and the ability to effectively change direction. We can use multiple tests that measure these things specifically. Upper and lower body power tests like counter movement jump, standing long jump, and some kind of standardized med ball throw would be good. Common speed and acceleration tests in tennis are 10 to 20 meter sprints with 5 or 10 meter split times. It'd be hard to reach full speed in 20 meters, so just to have context of the athlete's full speed, we'd also be interested in doing a 40 meter. That'd be easier for them to hit full speed. Shoulder strength and endurance would also be very important to keep track of, so something like a dynamometer strength test and upper Y balance test would be nice to keep track of. And for endurance, we can test VO2 max with a 1.5 kilometer run and repeat sprint ability with the RAS test. For the first workout, we're focusing on power and rotational strength. So the core workout will begin with power cleans and triple broad jumps to focus more on power. We're gonna do 3 sets of 1 rep of the triple broad jump, 1 rep being the triple jump, and 3 sets of 3 reps of power cleans at 85% 1 rep max. Keeping the power focus, we're gonna go into med ball rotational throws at 3 sets of 3 reps on each side, and superset that with supine triple flexion wall slams for 3 sets of 4 reps. Then we're gonna go more into rotational strength, and we're gonna do 4 sets of 7 reps on each side of landmine rotations, and we'll also do the same amount of sets and reps with a Pauloff cable rotation. The second workout will be focused on repeat sprint ability and change of direction. Starting with a 120 to 130 work to rest ratio, we're going to complete the 505 drill with 2 or 3 reps on each side. On the second rep, if we start getting slower, then we want to stop, but if we're still getting faster, then we can do a 3rd rep on each side. We're going to do some kind of reactive change of direction into a 5 meter sprint. We can do something like visual cues, audio cues, force them to react to a stimulus to be able to mimic game situations in change of direction. We're gonna end with 2 sets of 6 15-meter shuttles with 5 seconds of rest in between each rep and 75 seconds of rest between each set. Workout 3 is a full body strength workout. We're gonna start with front squats at 3x5. Then we're gonna go into RDLs, also 3x5. Then we're going to do a superset of incline dumbbell bench press with 3 sets of 7 on each side. And then we're going to do superset with that, a single arm lateral pull down with 3 times 7 on each side as well. Then we're going to do another superset of Bulgarian split squats with 3 sets of 6 reps on each leg. And we're going to do adduction and abduction Copenhagen's, 3 times 5 on each side with each exercise. Then we'll finish with our last superset of lateral raises and hamstring curls, each at 3 sets of 8 reps. For the last workout, we're going to work on aerobic capacity. So we're going to start with running at 140% of max aerobic speed for 30 seconds with a 15-second rest in between, and we're going to repeat that 3 times. Once we repeat that 3 times, we're going to rest for 90 seconds to have a 1-to-1 work to rest ratio, and then we're going to repeat that for 1 more set. After that, we're going to do 4 rallies of 2 minutes each at 75% max speed, and we're going to have a coach on the side throwing a ball inside every time the ball leaves, so that way we have no rest for 2 minutes. We're going to go 2 minutes straight to work on the aerobic system, and then we're going to rest for 2 minutes and repeat again 4 times. Just like soccer, women's tennis is a hybrid sport that requires endurance and high intensity bursts, although soccer has a higher work to rest ratio, while tennis's work to rest ratio is smaller. Training for aerobic capacity, repeat sprint ability, and speed, especially in the initial acceleration and multiple changes of direction at a moderate to high intensity, is key because of the prevalence of all these movements in game. Lower limb, especially at the ankle, and shoulder injury prevention is key. We got to make sure that we monitor athlete stress to not overwork them, and we want to make sure that they're hitting the proper stimulus in strength and conditioning, and that has been identified to be a problem, especially in youth sports. So to prepare them for these demands, we want to make sure that we're first of all getting the proper stimulus, and then after, we're getting the proper rest and recovery to be able to recover and make the most out of these stimulus. These are all my references. Thank you so much for watching.